Hi, I'm Irving. You have just entered Cartertopia. The 70s were really good to Lynda Carter. She was a triple threat. In 1972, she won the Miss World USA pageant. In 1977, she became America's darling as Wonder Woman. And while that was going on, she released a music album and several singles. Beauty, acting, singing, she had it all. And it was time to showcase the only one of those assets that Steve Trevor hadn't seen yet.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Eric, how you doing? This is the woman I've been telling you about.
She's a real wonder, this one is. Hey, woman. Wonder. Oh, it'll come to me eventually.
Wow. So you're the one that could sing the feathers off a bird.
I'm Kathy Meadows.
The man introducing her is Eric Landau, the main man at Phoenix Records. We're going to learn that his company is in financial trouble, and he's hoping Kathy Meadows will be their ticket to getting out of the hole they're in.
Jim Kosem, honey, you could smile the feathers off a bird.
Now tell her something she doesn't know. Jim, the engineer there, has things all set up, so let's get Ms. Meadows into the studio and hear what she's got.
Everybody's in the same boat, baby. Everybody's got a row. Everybody is in the same place, baby. Everybody's got to go. Well, all I got to say to you, all I got to say is, ooh, baby, just want to get beside you, not get in your way.
I think Jim's convinced. But while Diana's making a believer out of him, someone else comes into the control room.
After all, $1 million is nothing compared to what you stand to make off of Farewell to the Master.
A few weeks ago, Eric's star act, Billy Darrow, went boating near Catalina. He never came back. He's missing, presumed dead. Eric paid $100,000 for the rights to a bunch of new cuts that Billy had just recorded, so his plan is to make a memorial album called Farewell to the Master. The only problem is somebody stole the master tape with all of Billy's stuff on it, and they're holding it for ransom.
Just $1 million, Mr. Landau. The master tape is yours once more.
It's already his. You just happen to be in possession of it at the moment. But that doesn't help him. Bad guy stereotype gives him 2 days to come up with the money, or they start burning songs.
Extortion makes strange bedfellows, Steve. It looks like the trail we picked up in the aerospace industry is going to end up in the music industry.
So you think Kobler's extorting Phoenix Records?
Diana knows a goon when she sees one, and she recognizes hopelessness when she sees it on Eric's face. Yeah, they're extorting him all right. That's why Diana's here. The mystery person named Kobler is the one they're really after, because extorting big money out of people like this is Kobler's business. Diana's mission is to put her out of business. For good.
Hey, how you doing? Were those strings I pulled to get you that audition good enough?
Everything's just fine. Kathy Meadows starts cutting a demo tomorrow.
I just can't get over the fact that you can sing so well.
Well, there are quite a few things you don't know about me, Steve.
Yeah, one big thing that should have been obvious to you by now if you were paying attention. But lucky for Diana, you weren't. The goon is meeting with Kobler. He mentions how unhappy Eric was about the 2-day deadline. Kobler says maybe he needs a little nudge to remind him what's at stake.
Could you meet with him again this afternoon?
There's a press party going on, but no problem. I like crowds.
Go remind Mr. Landau where his priorities lie for the next 48 hours. Take the tape with you. Just the first song.
Eric and Kathy have just arrived at the press party, and he's introducing her around.
That's Jeff and Barbie Gordon, right?
That's right. Jeff, Barbie, I'd like for you to meet Kathy Meadows.
Nice to meet you, Kathy.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Eric speaks very highly of you.
Are you two leaving?
We were just getting some fresh air. That room upstairs was getting so stuffy. Our throats were getting scratchy. Weren't they, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, a little.
Barbie does all the talking in their relationship. Jeff, better known as Judge Reinhold in his very first appearance in front of a camera, has gone all Zukov on us.
If it weren't absolutely necessary for Jeff and I to make an appearance now and then, we'd never attend these things. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
These so-called singers and their immoral music. I tell you, there are days I look to heaven and ask whatever happened to Engelbert Humperdinck. Don't I, Jeff?
Yeah.
Call me old-fashioned, but we work hard.
Speaking of their relationship, what is it? Are they married? Brother and sister? Both? We'll never find out. We also never find out exactly what they do. For all we know, they're a band called Incest. And the more we get to know Barbie, the more we'll realize that just about anything is possible where she's concerned. And that noise you heard? Prepare to meet the real stars of this episode. If you couldn't hear what she said, you're not alone. They could have cut that line out and it wouldn't have made a difference because nobody could catch it anyway. What she said was, that's antimatter. What are they about? They can answer that for themselves.
Just settle down. Listen, I'd like for you to meet Kathy Meadows. Kathy, this is Anton.
Charm.
Better known as Rick Springfield, who at this time was splitting himself between music and acting. Unlike a lot of people who tried to do that, he was pretty successful.
And Kim.
Hi.
Also known as Michael Botts, former drummer for the band Bread.
And of course, Jerry.
Better known as Daniel Torp, an actor who has nothing to do with music. They're big fans of Jeff and Barbie.
I have all your records, really. I think your music is just wonderful.
You guys ever thought about doing milk commercials?
Honey, every time you sing, it just melts.
Big fans. They're so nutty, Jeff and the rest take it in stride. Barbie, not so much.
Just what I was talking about. They probably call themselves antimatter because if they ever came into contact with anything normal or decent, they'd blow up.
Barbie seems to have a large stick lodged somewhere. Seems like it should be part of Jeff's job to help her remove it, but he seems to almost like it.
Oh, not that I mind you handling them, Eric. It's just that sometimes he tends to focus on them to the exclusion of his more moderate, ultimately more popular artists.
And now we know why she has that stick. Professional jealousy. Daddy gives little brother more attention than he gives her, so she's gonna throw a temper tantrum and make him pay attention to her. If Jeff is her brother, all I can say is you poor slob. If he's her husband, all I can say is you dumb slob. Diana caught that little whisper that Eric got, and she has a fair idea what it's about when he excuses himself.
What are you looking at?
She's a very attractive woman, Barbie.
Lord knows what kind of songs she does.
Who cares?
As we know, Judge Reinhold went on to play this exact same character dozens of times in movies and on TV, and he pulled it off every time.
What are you doing back here?
My superiors feel you need some encouragement when it comes to meeting your 2-day deadline. Recognize this?
Yeah? It's master tape.
In fact, this envelope holds the first song from the master.
He burns the tape in front of Eric and says, "Every day you delay, we burn another song. It's in your best interest to move quickly." He leaves and Diana gets ready to follow him. A lot of us have been wondering when something like this was going to happen.
Eric!
What are you doing here?
Well, you left so quickly and you seemed upset. I was worried. So I went to your office and I'm afraid I overheard.
Then you know everything.
He says, "I can put up my shares of the company as collateral and get a bank loan. It's my only recourse." Diana doesn't know what to tell him, especially since Kobler's goon got away.
I hope everything works out. I really do.
You're a very, very special person, Kathy. Maybe when all of this is over with...
Eric, I like you. I really do. But you, my career, it's all been kind of sudden.
I have a feeling this is going to hurt her as much as it hurts him. Next day in the studio, Kim from Antimatter is working on an unused song from the Billy Darrow project, and he's called his buddies over to hear something he discovered.
Someone take the pennies off. That's Billy's voice. Someone pry the coffin lid loose. Someone get me out. It's so cold and so damp. Can't anybody hear me at all?
It sounds like a message, one that suspiciously hints that Billy Darrow isn't dead. They decide to keep looking for clues. In his office, Eric has received instructions for when and where to deliver the money.
All set. He's got the money.
I hope we can believe him.
You can. I broke into his office, made a copy of the bank draft. He did it all right. Got a personal loan with his majority share of Phoenix as collateral.
Guess who stole the tape? Clearly, her music is bad enough that she has to get in bed with an extortionist to make ends meet. Making music people actually want to listen to would just be too much work. Back at the studio, Antimatter has sorted out some more clues Billy left and come up with a cabin he owns near Santa Monica.
What better place to, like, disappear for a few weeks?
Kathy is stopping in to see Eric.
Oh, Eric. That's for the blackmailer, isn't it?
Obviously, she'll follow him to the drop point.
I don't have any choice, Kathy. I wish I did.
Eric! Well, I didn't have any choice either.
Or maybe she won't have to. That tape has his end of the conversation with the time and place. The Antimatter boys have arrived at Billy's cabin, where they find pretty much what they expected to find.
Oh, scared me half to death. Well, what y'all doing here, fellas? Howdy to you. It's great to see you. Well, it's been great to see you.
It was a publicity stunt. He planned to wait until the Memorial album made him a butt-ton of royalties, then miraculously appear alive to claim all that money. These guys are so far beyond furious they could easily take him back out on his boat, throw him overboard, and make the story true. But that wouldn't help Eric.
Suppose you didn't give a thought as to what your little stunt might do to Phoenix, pushing a borderline company into bankruptcy. Well, I got news for you, Billy. Your resurrection's gonna occur a little ahead of schedule.
Now, just hold on a second, fellas. Give me a couple of weeks for crying out loud. I mean, give them time to release the album, for Pete's sake.
No way, Jose.
There's 3 of them and 1 of him, and they're all a lot bigger than he is. No is not an option. Diana is heading out to the rendezvous point to see about helping Eric.
Billy Dira.
It's a long story.
One he really doesn't want to tell, but these guys insist.
Where's Eric?
Well, that's another long story. Listen, I'll explain on the way to Sherman Oaks. You guys have got to help me. We've got to get to Eric before he bankrupts himself by paying a ransom of $1 million that he doesn't need to pay.
Eric is meeting with Marty, but he wants to be sure the tape is real. Marty brought along a tape recorder for just that purpose.
Billy!
He'll be angry later. Right now, he's too happy about saving $1 million.
Come on, let's go!
Go! Move it!
I wonder if they have any idea what they just did.
It's Wonder Woman!
She's flying.
She knows Marty has to go this way, so this is a good place to stop him. Everybody heads off after him, but Kim is the fastest. That would explain why. Silly Wonder Woman is running in slow motion. She kicks back to regular speed too late. Kim has already caught him. That may or may not have been a good idea. Wonder Woman can catch Marty, but Kim is in the middle of the road at the bottom of the hill, and he's acting like his leg is hurt. And of course, a speeding car is coming. Don't stick around to make sure everybody's all right or something like that. You got places to go, and you're really important.
Oh, man! Man, that was either the bravest or the dumbest thing I ever seen.
Wait a minute, I'm taking odds on dumb.
Kim made a note to himself. Next time I chase someone, have some idea what I intend to do when I catch them.
You little jerk, are you okay?
You tell me.
Hey, what happened to Wonder Woman?
Well, I guess she left.
Low-profile kind of lady, but she's definitely cool.
Oh, hey, speaking of ladies.
Yeah?
Where's Kathy?
Yeah.
Last time I saw her, she was outside the van. Yeah, you guys left her back there.
I don't think she'll be too upset, boys. Call it a hunch. At her mansion, Kobler's beside herself.
Not only did you botch the pickup, but now with Billy Darrow miraculously alive once more, do you know how much this is worth? Nothing.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes. But Barbie isn't about to be cheated out of her big payday.
There is one way to restore the value of that tape. It was worth so much before because it was a memorial album, right? All we have to do is make it a memorial album all over again.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? You're suggesting we kill him.
Barbie is one soulless monster. Kobler likes the idea, of course. Jeff won't have it.
Why hold the tape for ransom when you can hold Billy for ransom?
Now that is an extraordinarily good idea, Jeff. With Billy and the tape in our possession, we'd have Phoenix completely at our mercy. Yes.
Ooh, Barbie doesn't like someone else getting the brownie points either, especially Jeff. Eric has had time to get over his elation, and now he's coming down on Billy like a load of watermelons. He says, "You get your carcass in that studio and recut that album, and I want you in there 2 minutes ago." Billy isn't in much position to argue. The antimatter guys will be his engineers. While he's in the studio with them and Diana's listening to a tape of her demo, Marty pulls up to the side door with Jeff and Barbie. They're wearing ski masks and earplugs. When they're done, the feedback is so loud it's hurting everyone's ears. That's just enough of a distraction for them to run in and grab Billy. By the time she gets there, Barbie and Jeff are on their way to the outer door with Billy. First things first. Just rip the wires out. It's cheaper to fix than replacing the whole speaker. Never mind. It doesn't take Wonder Woman long to figure out what that was all about.
Marty, watch out!
That's our Barbie, loyal to the end. Marty makes a half-hearted attempt to outrun the lasso. As if.
Where were they taking him?
Their house, Beverly Hills.
Good. One more thing. Where's your boss, Miss Kobler?
An estate in Malibu. 1619 Pacific Coast Highway.
How long has she been waiting to hear that? She hands him over to antimatter. She says, "Have the police pick him up and also have them go to that address he gave me. I'm going to save Billy." Barbie has a fair idea that's what Wonder Woman is going to do. She's in a panic.
Now stay calm, Barbie. Wonder Woman's undoubtedly coming after me first. And we'll be out of here in 3 minutes flat. No, stay where you are. We'll come by, pick you up. We'll all be on the plane to Rio by midnight.
Again, I say, as if. She says, with Wonder Woman going after them to save Billy Darrow, we have more time to get out of here. Let's get busy. But the police have just arrived. One. They're undercover.
Freeze.
Now they'll call the police. I get the feeling this is kind of personal for them. Mess with Eric and Phoenix Records and you mess with these guys. Not a good thing to do. Wonder Woman is at Barbie and Jeff's place. She can hear Billy yelling for help somewhere but can't locate him.
Kobler lied.
Yeah, Yeah, she has the same morals you do. Who'd have thunk it?
Arnold, Herman, get out here!
If these guys had any sense...
You guys really don't want to try that, do you?
No, not really, but they have a contract, and so... And so they go swimming.
We need excuses for bodyguards. What are they doing?
Treading water mostly.
They decide to make tracks while Wonder Woman locates Billy.
Hello, Billy. Bye, Billy.
Hey, don't I get a kiss? A silver bullet or something?
There's no time for any of that. She has to head off after the extortion twins.
I'm going after Jeff and Barbie.
Hey, wait a second.
Or not. Barbie's actually pulling off the silly string look. Wonder Woman didn't capture a single villain in this episode. Antimatter rounded up the whole bunch. I think somebody should make a show about them, the crazy rock stars who go around solving mysteries in the silliest ways possible. I would watch the daylights out of that. And now that we've had our nice big laugh, it's time for something not so funny.
Kathy, Jim tells me you're planning to leave after you cut this next song.
That's right. You see, my trial contract will be over then, and I have to leave. Go back east.
But why? Hey, you got a great future in this business. Now that this extortion thing's over, I was kind of hoping that maybe we could see more of each other.
Of all the men that have fallen for Diana, Eric is my favorite. He made it clear to Jim the engineer that he couldn't care less about her looks. He's looking at how talented she is and how nice she is. The fact that she's knock you down and stomp on you beautiful is a perk, nothing more. She could look like olive oil and he wouldn't care. Where a guy like Zukov will never get past party. Eric says, this is one terrific person, talented beyond belief and sweeter than pure cane sugar. I want to know her better. I realize that since she's uncovered, she's going to have to hurt him, but I wouldn't mind if just this once she bent the rules a little and married him.
My name is not Kathy Meadows, it's Diana Prince. And I'm an agent with the IADC. I came here and posed as a singer to find and capture Adele Kobler. And now that I've accomplished that, I have to leave.
He reacts just as she predicted and storms out. There's nothing to do but finish the demo.
Toto, I get the feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
This song was on her first album and it's incredibly beautiful. I could listen to it several times in a row. I noticed the Antimatter boys have taken off their makeup so the actors get some actual face time, instead of white stuff time. And you knew Eric couldn't stay away for long. Nobody can resist Diana Prince's smile. I repeat, Diana should bend the rules a little and hook up with Eric. I don't think we've ever seen her meet a man like him before. Now we know he's quick to forgive on top of all his other great qualities. I know it can't happen. For one thing, it would ruin the series. But also, Diana wouldn't be able to be an agent anymore. And I'm not sure what Eric would think when he finally learned he was married to Wonder Woman. He'd either give out with the biggest "yeah" ever heard around the world, or he'd drop dead of heart failure. Probably best not to take the risk. I'm Irving, and you are now exiting Cartertopia.